So, you're learning a new language, and you get to the part about naming rooms in a house. It usually feels like you're just memorizing a big, random list of words, right? Well, what if I told you there's a better way? Today, we are going to dive into the beautiful logic of the Finnish language, where one single word is basically a master key that unlocks an entire home.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a riddle, doesn't it? How in the world do you build a house with words? Well, believe it or not, in Finnish, there's this surprisingly elegant system that lets you do pretty much just that. Let's check out how it works.
Okay, so picture this. You're trying to learn all the words for a house. You've got living room, bedroom, dining room, and they're all totally different words you have to cram into your brain. But what if? What if there was a simpler way? What if there was a master key?
Right, so think about a language like Spanish. You have completely unique words for each room. Sala, comedor, dormitorio. It's kind of like being handed a pile of random mismatched blocks. Finnish, on the other hand, gives you a set of Legos. You start with one core building block and you just use it over and over and over again.
And here it is. This is the master key. The word is huone, and it just means room. That's it. This one little word is the foundation for almost every single room in a Finnish house. So let's see how this thing actually works.
Okay, so we've got our key. Now it's time to start opening some doors. And seriously, prepare to see a pattern that is so logical, so satisfying, you're going to wonder why every language doesn't work like this.
This is where the magic happens. It's so cool. You just take an action and you add huone. So the living room, that's the being or staying room. You take olo, you add huone, and you get olohuone. The bedroom is the sleeping room. Maku plus huone is makuhuone. The eating room, ruokailuhuone. The workroom, your office, työhuone. Even the bathroom is literally the bathroom, kylpihuone. It's this simple, elegant formula.
Of course, almost every language has its little quirks, right? There's always that one word that just wants to do its own thing. And in our Finnish house, there's one very important room that breaks the pattern.
And that word is keittiö. It means kitchen. Just like in English, it's got its own special name. It doesn't follow the Hornet rule. But, it's a super important word to know as we start furnishing our new vocabulary house.
So we've built the rooms. Now we got to put some stuff inside them, right? So let's take a look at some furniture, some fixtures, and the other key parts of a home.
Let's start with a couple of easy wins. Some Finnish words are actually really close to their English versions, which is always a nice little bonus when you're learning. The word for sofa is sofa, and the word for lamp is lampu. See? Pretty straightforward.
Now for the essentials, the things you'd find in almost any room. For furniture, you've got the table, pöytä, and the chair, tuoli. And for the room itself, the door is ovi and the window is ikkuna. And just like that, with only these few words, you can already start to picture a real space.
And hey, to complete our tour of the house, let's not forget about the very top and the very bottom. The attic is ulako, and the basement is kellari. So there you have it. We now have a complete blueprint of a Finnish home in our heads.
All right, so we've got our nouns, we've got rooms, we've got furniture. Now it's time to actually start building with them. Let's see how all these blocks can just snap together to form complete sentences.
Let's start with a really simple statement. If you want to say, the lamp is in the living room, first you take your object, lampu. Then you take the verb for is, which is on. And now here's the really crucial part. To say in the living room, you take olohuone and you just add the ending sa. So you get lampu on olohuoneessa. That sa ending is your secret weapon for saying in a place.
Okay, your turn. Let's do a quick pop quiz. Based on what we've just learned, how do you think you would ask the question, is there a table in the kitchen? Think about our words for kitchen and table and try to remember that little trick for forming questions.
So, did you get it? The answer is onko keittiössä pöytä. Let's break that down. To turn the statement it is, which is on, into a question, is it? You just add the little particle ko to the end. So on becomes onko. Then we have our location, in the kitchen, which is keittiössä. See, there's that sa ending again. And finally the object, pöytä. Simple as that.
Okay, you have totally mastered the basics. You've built rooms, you've made simple sentences, you've even asked questions. So now, let's put it all together and see how these simple little blocks can build a much more complex, much more nuanced thought. Let's take a look at this sentence. I would like to be in the living room because the sofa is very comfortable.
Now that might seem really complicated at first, but it's just our same blocks all over again. Haluaisin olla means I would like to be. Then olohuonessa, that's in the living room. Koska sofa is because the sofa, and on tosi mukova means it's very comfortable. See, every single part is just a distinct little piece of vocabulary that we can learn and then assemble. And there you have it. We started with just one single key, the word huone. And from that one starting point, we've managed to build and furnish an entire house. We can even describe what's happening inside of it.
So, here's the big takeaway. Learning a language, it doesn't have to be about memorizing these endless, unrelated lists of words. Sometimes, all you really need is the right key, the right pattern. By understanding the logic behind a word like huone, you're not just learning vocabulary, you are building the house of your language block by block.